9 p.m. in RTD. It's time to English New Edition. For tonight headlines, we have the President of the Republic pays tribute to the memory of the late Aden Sheikh Hassan. The launch of vaccination activities for local elected officials. For the international scene, agreement to facilitate global access to Pfizer's anti-COVID pill. Welcome to our newsroom. The President of the Republic, His Excellency Ismail Omar Guelleh, has paid a vibrant tribute to the memory of the late Aden Sheikh Hassan Nourieh, one of the emblematic figures of the political, diplomatic, and administrative landscape of Djibouti's public life over the past 15 years. With the death of Aden Sheikh Hassan Nourieh, Djibouti loses one of its greatest state clerks who dedicated a large part of his life to the protection and promotion of the interests of our country, said the head of state. In the tribute paid to the late former senior Djiboutian officials, he will long remain engraved in the memory of our compatriot for the leading role he played at each decisive stage of history of our living together. He continued recalling, among other things, the valuable contribution he made to the struggle for our national independence, a man of principle, culture, and work. His rigorous is at the origin of the few careers he had in turn within the diplomacy and the high national administration. The head of state noted praising the skills and the professionalism of the man who was recently his advisor on diplomatic affairs. May God welcome him into his eternal paradise. The head of state also implored, expressing his sad condolence to the family, relatives, and the friends of the deceased Djiboutian notable, the late Aden Sheikh Hassan Nourieh, a well-known and appreciated personality in Djibouti, left behind him a large family, including several children who themselves hold high positions in the Djiboutian administration. Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. A great political activist of the first hours for the independence of our country, diplomat of courage since the indecent late Aden Sheikh died last night. The deceased was a man of value who fought for the independence of the country and climbed the ladder of the high Djiboutian administration by becoming the first ambassador appointed at the independence on July 15, 1977. He was posted to Saudi Arabia from 1977 to 1987 and to Egypt from 1987 and to 1995. He was then appointed diplomatic advisor to the President of the Republic from 1995 to 2050. He was also chairman of the board of directors of Diwan Zakat, a position that the deceased held for several years. A man of faith, loved and appreciated by all. The deceased had a wife and 7 children, 14 grandchildren. The late Aden Sheikh Hassan Nourieh, a well-known and appreciated personality in Djibouti, left behind him an important family. Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. The Embassy of the Republic of Djibouti in France and the delegation of Djibouti to UNESCO communicate that our country has just been brilliantly elected for today with a result of 161 votes ex aequo with Botswana as a members of the executive board of UNESCO for the period 2021-2025 for the second time in its history after the 2009 and 2013 mandate. The Republic of Djibouti is reinstated in UNESCO's main governing bodies, while all major decisions are taken. The victory is the result of a great mobilization, both at the bilateral levels in Paris and the intense diplomatic exercises in Djibouti within the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and all our diplomatic missions abroad, the work undertaken by His Excellency Aid Mus'ad Yahya, Ambassador of the Republic of Djibouti in France, permanent delegate to UNESCO after the successive visit of the two Director General of UNESCO in Djibouti, has now definitively anchored its place in this family of education, culture, science, peace that are the cardinal points. In addition, Djibouti is the African Vice President of the Intergovernmental Committee for the Safeguarding and of the Intangible Cultural Heritage. In this capacity, Djibouti, as a member of the Executive Board, will participate in the elections of the next Director General of UNESCO in 2025. This victory testifies, if anywhere needed, to the trust placed by the international community in our country and to the enlightened and wise policy conducted by His Excellency Ismail Omar Guelleh, President of the Republic and Head of Government. The Minister of Health, Dr. Ahmed Roble Abdillah, together with the Mayor of Djibouti, Fatuma Awali Osman, launched the vaccination activity against COVID-19 for the benefit of the local elected officials and staff of the town hall. The Minister of Health first had a meeting with the local elected officials on the importance of vaccinations as an effective means of fighting the COVID-19 pandemic. The minister recalled that the benefit of vaccinations and the need for collective immunization to eradicate this disease in our country. The Mayor of Djibouti, Fatuma Awali Osman, welcomed the exemplary decisions of local elected officials to set an example and raise awareness among the Djiboutian population for a massive and national adherence to this vaccination strategy deployed by the Minister of Health anti-COVID-19. The mobile anti-COVID-19 vaccination team travels around the country's public and private institutions in order to bring the vaccinations as close as possible to the workers in order to promote a healthy and safe environment for the ongoing economic recovery. For her part, the Mayor of City, Fatuma Awali Osman, welcomed the Minister of Health and recounted the many projects undertaken with the municipality. In a speech delivered on this occasion, Fatuma Awali Osman congratulated the Minister of Health for his tireless efforts for the welfare of our populations, and especially in this period of COVID-19. Regarding this pandemic, the mayor recalled that the municipality had taken an important part in the fight against COVID-19 since the national alert. Ms. Fatuma Awali Osman, while reassuring the Minister of Health, declared that she will involve the municipality's active forces in the vaccination campaign against COVID-19, namely the neighborhood councils and local elected women. The district councils, of which there are 82 in the capital, are citizens who work voluntarily in the services of their country. The Minister of Health, Dr. Ahmed Roble Abdillah, welcomed extended to him by the staff of the municipality and the neighborhood councils and local elected officials. In his speech delivered at this working meeting, the Minister of Health indicated the danger of this pandemic and related the efforts made by his department to protect our population against this global pandemic. While continuing his speech, the Minister of Health said that the efforts of his department have saved our country, that we should not give up. The minister recommended the wearing of masks in public places, the application of barrier gestures, the vaccinations of people, especially those living with a comorbidity. A team from the Ministry of Health will visit neighborhoods in Vaccinobus to facilitate community-based vaccination. The minister requested the participation of the town hall in the fight against COVID-19 and of all its stakeholders, a request that was favorably received. The minister also called for the participation of neighborhood councils in the management of community health centers in Djibouti City and said that these suggestions would be implemented shortly. The Minister of Transport, Hassan Hamad Darbahim, chaired this morning at the campus a meeting with an Ethiopian delegation led by the Minister of Infrastructure of Ethiopia, Ms. Degmawit Moges. in the presence of the ambassador of Djibouti in Ethiopia and the president of the Authority of Ports and Free Zone Authority, Abubakar Omar Hadi. A meeting aimed at strengthening cooperation between the two countries, Djibouti and Ethiopia, linked by age-old ties. Senior officials of Djibouti's railway port infrastructure participated in the meeting, which will last 2 days. The exchanges will serve to strengthen the already well-advanced economic integration between the two neighbors. The Minister of Transport welcomed the Ethiopian delegation led by the Ethiopian Minister of Infrastructure, Ms. Degmawit Moses, who thanked the Djiboutian side. Several areas of cooperation will be dealt with during the meeting.
In terms, I can say that last year performance of port productivity is one of its kind, because we have evaluated that during the last 20 to 25 years, there was no time that we were able to accomplish a critical cargo movement without enforcing our drivers. But for the very first time, last year, we did it under a very smooth operation. And that happened because of, Excellency, your support, your engagement, and your commitment. And I would like to say thank you very much for everything that you have done. And last year's productivity in every aspect was exceptional. And we really want to say thank you so much.
For his part, the Minister of Transport and Equipment, Hassan Muhammad Arbahim, welcomed the Ethiopian delegation led by the Ethiopian ministers. He also stressed the quality of bilateral relations between Djibouti and Ethiopia. It is therefore a privilege and an honor for him to welcome the delegations in Djibouti, where they feel truly at home in real terms, said the ministers. I can say that last year's performance in port productivity is unique because we have evaluated it and the results is positive. There has never been a time when we have been able to accomplish a critical cargo movement without enforcing our drivers. But for the first time ever last year, we did it in a very smooth operations, and that happened because of excellence, because of your support and your involvement, your commitment. And I would like to say thank you very much for all that you have done. Last year's productivity was exceptional in every way, and we would like to thank you. The Minister of Energy in charge of Natural Resources, Yunis Ali Gedi, received it today in his offices. The USA representative, Mr. Leo Jackson, accompanied by 2 representatives of the American companies selected for the implementations of the Liquestar project. This pilot project will enable 18 households in a rural village to benefit from electricity thanks to a battery charging station. Liquestar will use a waypoint charging stations technology to deploy smart battery for off-grid power distribution and a sustainable wireless battery-powered ecosystem. This Liquestart project will deploy a waypoint charging stations. Djibouti is a key strategic partner for the United States in the Horn of Africa. USAID established its office in Djibouti in 2003 and has since provided development assistance for basic health services, basic education. The President of Ports and Free Zone Authority, Abubakar Omar Hadi, received it at PICA 23 Free Zone, an important delegation from the Provence Alpes-Côte d'Azur PACA region, led by Mr. Christophe Madrol, Regional Councillor and President of the Biodiversity Sea and Coastal Commission's Regional Natural Parks of the Southern region. This high-level delegation was accompanied by Mr. Arnaud Guillois, French Ambassador to Djibouti, and senior officials from the Djibouti Ministry of Foreign Affairs. The meeting was also attended by the French ambassador, Mr. Arnaud Guillois, regional councillors and president of commissions, Mr. Christophe Madrol, and the heads of the various port departments, as well as close collaborators. In addition to the welcome message and the warm welcome, the meeting between Abubakar Omar Hadi and the delegation took place in a friendly and relaxed atmosphere. The discussion is focused on the strengthening of cooperation between our two countries in the field of port infrastructure and free trade zone, and the delegation was able to see for itself the remarkable progress made. The Intergovernmental Authority on Development, IGAD, in collaboration with Save the Children International and the Horn of Africa Youth Network, held a regional consultative forum on youth policy early this morning at Campus Key Hotel. The objective of the Regional Consultative Forum is to validate IGAD youth policy, to ensure policy provision strategic guidance on youth concerns, and offers advice on how to holistically address concerns in the region. As participants in the forum are representatives of youth networks for IGAD member country, the Interagency Working Group, Youth Development and strategic partners to ensure support in the development, implementation, and monitoring of the youth policy. This regional consultative forum is part of the policy development roadmap to ensure meaningful stakeholders' participation and engagement to further inform, gather views, review, and enrich the revised draft IGAD youth policy. The policy aims to provide strategic directions to address youth concerns in a holistic manner and strengthen IGAD support and commitment of youth. As part of its mission to promote and protect human rights, the National Union of Djiboutian Women, UNFD, in collaboration with the NGO Equality Now, has been implemented actions to promote the applications of the Maputo Protocol. It is within this framework that the UNFD hosted on Tuesday, 16th November, a large-scale workshop to popularize the use of Maputo Protocol, the Maputo Protocol to the African Charter on Human and People's Rights. Maputo Protocol is an international protocol of the African Union committing signatory states to guarantee women's rights, including the right to participate in the political process, social and political equality with men, improved autonomy in their health decisions, in ending female genital mutilation. Is focal points from different ministerial departments discussed how to improve women's rights. The ambassador of the United States of America to Djibouti, Jonathan Pratt, went to the refugee village of Holhol to discuss with the refugees settled in this village. The ambassador, accompanied by senior UNHCR officials in Djibouti, was introduced to the villages by the Executive Secretary of UNACS, Hussein Hassan Darar, and his technical staff. The refugees told the ambassador about their living conditions in the camp, as well as the welcome and assistance they received from the population of Upper Djiboutians and from the Djiboutian government, which has been assisting the refugees since their arrival. They also told the ambassador about their grievance and their expectations from donors for possible resettlement. The ambassador took note of the refugees' grievance and promised to provide an adequate response to their complaint. The Djibouti Football Federation has officially launched the Regional League of 2021-2022 season in Ali Sabir. The opening match pits two teams, Chateau d'Eau and Neighborhood, from the regional selection. It is clear that the two teams faced each other in a festive atmosphere and sportsmanship. The fighting spirit on the field, the monstrous counter-attacks of both teams, and especially the burning desire to win, makes this sporting event of the Regional League remains a springboard for the promotion and revitalization of regional sports. In addition, in view of this regional competition, the leaders of the Regional Football League of Ali Sabir have been working for a week to prepare the opening ceremony. A dozen teams are engaged in this championship. For this, as usual, the Federation will provide support to these teams to enable them to evolve in the best possible conditions. The Prefecture of Obok region is in collaboration with the Regional Council proceeded with the tree planting campaign in the city of Obok, knowing that the 2019. In 2019, during the first phase, more than 150 trees were planted, supported by the project of support to decentralization of local initiative ADIL, funded by the European Union. The Regional Council of Obok has decided to promote this initiative as part of the project of beautification of the city of Obok in 2021. In total, more than 400 trees have been planted on the sides of the main arteries of the city of Obok on the road leading to the Obok. According to the prefect of Obok and the president of the regional council, this action is part of the policy of sustainable development and preservation of the environment. Moreover, green spaces have a considerable influence on the human life. They have soothing virtues, improve the quality of the living environment, have an ecological and landscape interests, provide shade and coolness in summer, and renew the oxygen in the air. In the framework of the fight against contraband, the element of the police of Dakhil detachment and those of the force Depeche intervention companies in Dakhil, the police and the customs brigade intercepted a large quantity of smuggled cigarettes consisting of 113 batch of Benson and Royal concealed on board a car coming from the As'ila on its way to Djibouti. This merchandise was also seized and placed under seal. The individuals involved in this case are in custody and will be brought to justice or presented to the prosecutor's office in the coming hours. Once again, the police are warning the population of the risks of the consequence and these actions which are damaging the country's economy. For the international scene, COVID-19 agreement to facilitate global access to Pfizer's and anti-COVID pill, U.S. pharmaceutical giant Pfizer announced on Tuesday that it would agree to release generic versions of its anti-COVID-19 pill beyond rich countries once the treatment is approved. The company has also applied for marketing authorizations in the U.S. The voluntary licensing agreement was announced jointly by Pfizer and the Medicine Patent Pool established by UnitAid in early November. Pfizer, which together with Germany's BioNTech markets one of the most effective vaccines against COVID-19, published in acting clinical trial results for its oral antiviral. They show 89% efficacy in preventing the risks of hospitalization or death in adults at high risks of developing severe forms of COVID-19. Pfizer filed for emergency marketing authorizations in the U.S. on Tuesday. This is it for the news. Thanks for watching us. Have a good evening.